Hey YouTube, so it's Sean
Letitia.
with another Kickback episode. So today we're going to be talking about Black history and the lack of leadership,
Especially in the Black community.
especially in the Black community. So
We're going to start off with a bit of history about Black culture in general. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I'm going to speak about Timbuktu. Now, I knew about the colleges, I knew about the universities in Timbuktu, but I didn't know how they began. I didn't know too much. I'd done my research. So in Timbuktu in the 12th century, we were trading gold, we were trading salt, we were trading dyes and other things like that. After a while, we accumulated enough wealth to start 150 universities. Now, in those universities were 1/4 of the population of Timbuktu, but then so many other regions from different parts of Africa came that we just expanded. So my problem is that they don't teach this in schools. All I learned about is Henry VIII and stuff like that, which is very worrying, because I want my children to know about Black leaders. I want my children to know about Black countries thriving, because we don't really hear enough of that.
No, we don't. But there's someone said something to me, and the reason why it's not a part of the Western curriculum as such is because it is tapered to European history, being that it is of European. If you want to learn about Black history, you'd actually have to go to Africa, or have to go to the Caribbean, or have to go to these Black countries and colonies.
I feel as if we're taught to be ashamed of Africa, but then it's more than just dyes and salt. There are a lot of things, like there's certain things in phones.
Lithium.
Yeah, lithium, exactly.
It's in the Congo, it's in Haiti, it's what powers your smartphones.
Exactly.
It's used in a lot of electronics, and it's the reason for, designed, and I'm going to say designed, civil wars and controversy that happens in some of these countries. And like it's like the world, there's a fear of Black excellence, because of, it's not like we haven't been great in our past. We've been pharaohs, we've been emperors. Even I was discussing about the fact that the last emperor of Ethiopia, Haile Selassie, not spoken about as much. It was like, and he was an emperor. He wasn't a king. He was an emperor.
Beyond the king.
The queen had to bow down to him. Like,
oh yeah, you saw the picture, didn't you? Yeah.
The queen had to bow down to him. And think about it, an empire is bigger than a kingdom.
Have you noticed that picture is so hidden?
Yeah, definitely. Because why would they want to show that? Because the queen is also all powerful. Do you know what I mean? And they're not going to show that. It's not taught about these things. And I feel like the fact that we're living in a multicultural society, it means that our children lose out, because we're basing our children's learning on a education system
that isn't built for them. Our education system isn't built for us. So like I was saying prior, we learned about Shakespeare.
The Western education system is not built for us.
So it's like we learned about Shakespeare, we just learned about other things, but we were never taught things like about Black people creating ideas like the traffic lights, our GPS systems in our cars, fire extinguishers, peanut butter, any kind of hair products known to man. We were never taught about these things. And I just feel it's crucial to be taught about these things, because, for instance, if you take a picture with a group of people around you, the first person you're going to look for in that picture is yourself,
Mm-hmm.
right? When there's no representation around you of yourself, you lose interest in things. You're going to lose interest in history. You're going to lose interest because you don't see yourself. There needs to be more positive role models of ourselves. But then on the flip side, we need to be taught about ourselves to begin with, you know?
For example, like I remember as a young child, my dad taught me a lot about um, Black history in regards to people.
Shouts out to Pops, by the way.
If you're watching this video, hey dad. He very much taught me about, and he, as much as I was kind of, oh, I don't want to hear this all over again. It was like my dad taught me about Sumerians.
You needed that repetition.
I did need that repetition. My dad taught me about Sumerians. My dad taught me about the Moors. And you know, being the type of person I am, I did my own research and obviously found out that in like 700 700 AD, around that time, they ruled. They took over and ruled Spain for 800 years. Now, that is not talked about, you know, and like I even made a joke earlier, like about like I made a joke earlier about like the stereotypical Spanish person doesn't like Black people, and obviously there's scientific fact that like trauma is like
passed on for generations.
And I made a joke like, oh, maybe they don't like us because of the Moors. Like, have you ever thought of that? Like, maybe they're just genetically coded to not like us anymore, sort of thing. And you know, and as you said, it's that.
Which is a joke, by the way. We're not trying to get the Spanish community in the comments.
No,
just a joke.
No. Mi amigo.
hey, wait a minute.
So yeah, basically, yeah. So then things like that, and like the Moors brought like basic things to
like
European, like
life skills, like you know,
not just life skills, but they brought crops, they brought sugarcane, they brought cotton, they brought peaches, they brought so much stuff to the Spanish, to the Spaniards at the time, and it was ridiculous. But yeah, we won't stay on that for too long.
Yeah.
But
we can talk about it for days.
I know, for days. We can talk for days. But anyway. And obviously we're talking about the lack of obviously we're talking
role
about
models,
representation and lack of role models. Now we do have role models in our community up and rising, especially like in the music community and entertainment industry. But I also feel like in regards to some forms of entertainment such as drill, there is a lack of there can be a lack of what's the word I'm looking for?
Not guidance, but
mindfulness. That's
yes.
it. Mindfulness. So you're portraying this image to young people who don't understand that sometimes this is just you telling your story, and sometimes yes they may relate to parts, but sometimes they're taking what you're saying as a literal sense.
I just want to interject by saying I find that with drill, a lot of the time a person's gotten out of that lifestyle and they're rapping about things that they had to do, but now they're out of it. But then the younger generation are looking at that and they're assuming that that's the lifestyle they're still leading. Now in the music industry, it's like you can't do both. You can't trap and do music. But these kids are thinking they can do both, and it's just it's leading them down a very dark path, a very dark road, and it's sad. It's really sad.
And you know, even like the news report that we saw that country line workers
and it's ironic,
earn less than McDonald's workers, you know, and this is something we need to be teaching our young people, something we need to be instilling in them to make them make the right and better decisions. And we, as the generation coming up, we need to be making sure that we're taking care of the younger generation and making sure that they aspire to better and have better futures. For me personally, that's kind of why I've gone into the work line that I have in regards to youth work, because I feel like it's needed. It's needed within the younger generation in general. It's needed especially with ethnic minority younger generation.
It starts from young.
It starts from young. But let us know what you think about what we've spoken about today. Leave a comment, like, make sure you subscribe.
Yep, subscribe.
Yes. All information. If you want to email us, the kickback, kickbackthe7@gmail.com.
Yes.
On Instagram, we're the kickback LS. Yeah, let us know what you think. If you want to hear of anything else, let us know. Keep watching. Also, ratchet book challenge.
Yeah.
Get a book. Be as ratchet as possible in that position. Dress ratchet, whatever it is, but read a book. See how people view you.
See how people perceive you.
Yeah.
And yeah. Ratchet book challenge.
Don't let your image take your shine.
Don't let your image define you.
Catch you.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.